Well, welcome today to our weight loss call. This is Milo with you, and we have a great call lined up for you guys. And well, we're very excited. We keep seeing those testimonials coming every single day through our social media and through our voice message system in our call center. So thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing. And the excitement, guys, that we have is unbelievable. You know, we keep hearing people change their lives and their lifestyles with our great products like SiselTHIN and Sizzle Sport and Ripped and our SiselTHIN. So we're super grateful for everything that you guys are doing, for sharing the Maro mission with people, for sharing your testimonials with everybody that you know, so you can help them change their lives. So we have we're here at corporate. We're very committed to helping you guys be successful. We're hosting these calls every single Tuesday night. Same time, 7 o'clock Utah time, same phone number, same access code. So please make sure that you guys tell anybody out there that wants to lose weight and wants to learn how to, and then listen to some of the testimonials and success stories that we have out there to dial in this phone number and to listen in. I mean, we have great people doing great things right now here in corporate and out in the field. As a matter of fact, we're going to have Rennert with us, and he just went to our Masters in Pennsylvania, which was an awesome event. I've heard really great things today all day about that event and the excitement, how excited people were sharing their stories. You know, over 400 or 500 plus people during Masters, so I'm sure that he's going to be touching on it a little later today. But guys, just to let you guys know, we want to encourage everybody to bring people to this call, to talk to people. We're going to be giving away some product at the end of this call. So we're going to be choosing from the people that share their testimonials on social media that call the 801-704-6700 and leave their testimonials. If you don't have social media, just make sure that you guys share with everybody what you guys are doing, how much weight you've lost, what are your tips and tricks that you guys are doing. If you're doing the keto diet, if you're doing some other diet, how's the product working for you? You know, we've done a couple of fun videos out there on how we're using the product, how we're having fun here, working out and seeing results also. So we have a great call lined up for you. I'm not going to be wasting any more of our guest time. So I'm going to pass the time to our VP of Global Sales and Marketing, Rennert. Well, like I was saying, you know, he was just out there traveling and with you guys in Pennsylvania, where we had the opportunity to be in the Masters. And one of the guys that, he hired me 4 years ago. And I think we were talking for like 7 years before that, even to come to Sizzle. So I'm super grateful for him to actually keep insisting and giving me the opportunity of being a part of this family for that. Thank you, Aaron, for that. So go ahead. Are you here with us?
I am, Milo, and thanks for bringing me on, and thanks everybody for being on the call tonight. It's going to be an important call. One, because like Milo said, we're going to recap a little bit, and just to put everything in perspective, when I first met Milo, I said to him, hey, let's get you on board. We worked on it. He had other opportunities, other engagements, moved out of state for a bit. When he came back, he looked me up. I said, Milo, what's up with your consulting deal? He said, it's going to be on for another X number of months. I said, good. At the end of that, do not renew. I will have an employment agreement ready for you, and I want to bring you on board. So the best thing that I could have done is just literally lock Milo down. It's a good sales technique. I didn't give him any room to wiggle. I just said, you're on, and brought him on board. So we've had a lot of fun working together, and it's been a lot of enjoyment, obviously, as we've tried to continue to help everybody out in the field and build and support you guys and do all those things that are necessary for us to have the success that you guys are helping us have as a company. It takes an army, folks, and we've got it right now. And I'll tell you what, I was absolutely blown away when I walked into the room on Thursday morning out in Manheim, Pennsylvania. I walked in and I literally just was in awe. I was in utter awe. I had my my jaw hanging open. I sent some texts back to corporate and said to these guys, folks, you cannot believe what's going on here. And the numbers that we had of the people that are so excited to get back to work, to get back to business and really focus on helping others. And that was the theme. There was no question that we had a theme that was change your life, change somebody else's life. And it was such a magnificent event, and one that I will literally cherish forever, because it was the camaraderie, it was the relationships, it was the opportunity to get to know other people and new faces, as well as the old faces that we haven't seen for a while, because, folks, we haven't been traveling for literally about a year. And so it was a phenomenal event. And I'll tell you this, one of the things that I really focused on and really tried to help people understand is that SISEL is an acronym. And as we talk about SISEL, it's SISEL. And I wanted people to realize that there is a easy way, in my opinion, to really talk about who SISEL is or why SISEL. And it's not as easy for people to really explain it, because we're a very complex company. It's a company that was started a long time ago. We've been around the block. We've seen a lot of things. And so we understand that we have to stand for something. And when we say stand for something, literally we do. And it's called SISEL. And the first letter S, it stands for science. It's what we do. It's the first part of our name. If people are looking for research, we've got it. If they're looking for a company that has its own laboratories or manufacturing, we've got it. If they're looking for research and development, we've got it in spades, folks. We are absolutely focused on bringing what we consider to be the latest and greatest to market. The second letter I stands for innovation. And literally, the Mowers have been at the forefront of innovation or innovative products for the last 35 plus years. And they haven't slowed down. I mean, I sat down with Tom Jr. earlier today. We talked about a couple of things that were absolutely paramount. And I absolutely love what he has to say, the way he thinks, the way he operates, the way he utilizes his vision, his strategy, his direction. And all of us can get behind that. And it's been a lot of fun, obviously, for us to really see him take charge, take control, and take the helm. And so we'll talk about that in just a minute. But the third letter S, it stands for success. And I said this over the weekend. I'll say it again over and over and over again. Success is not measured by monetary value, folks. Success is measured by those things that we want to achieve, and we go out and we achieve it. So if somebody's looking for better health, that's success. If somebody's helping others, that's success. If somebody needs a little bit of help with their financial side, that's success. And we can do all of those things and give people the opportunity, because we are rewarding people for the efforts that they're able to put into their business. And that's a focus that we have. Now, the fourth letter E, it stands for energy. And we absolutely felt that energy at that event this past weekend. It was absolutely electric, folks. We were in the midst of a lot of people. We were focused on helping to change people's lives. We were focused on helping with motivation and inspiration and education and all of those wonderful aspects. And some of the speakers, I can't go into all of them, but some of the speakers were so amazing. So we're going to have a little sampling of that tonight on the call. But that energy was palpable. It was absolutely amazing. And so when we talk about energy, we've got the training, the systems, the tools, the promotions. We want to help everybody every step of the way. And we can do that, obviously, as we get to the fifth letter L. It stands for longevity. And bottom line, folks, a lot of people look at longevity and they say, oh my, what is longevity? Anti-aging, age reversal. And I've always told people in this company, longevity is actually completely the opposite. It's about a long-lasting company that's going to be handed down from generation to generation. It's a legacy company. And so we want to continue to bring people into this legacy so that they can make legacies of their own, that they can carry that mantle, they can carry that torch. I heard that a number of times over the weekend, that we have an opportunity to continue to help people along the way. And so just like when Tom Jr. took over from Tom Sr. after his passing this past year, well, guess what? We didn't miss a step, folks. We continue to run just like we've always been running. But let's talk real quick about fat stats. And again, I know everybody kind of smiles when I say that, but the fact is that we have a world that's become more overweight and obese over the last number of years than we've ever seen in the history of time. And so unfortunately, that leads to a lot of issues: cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes. And even underweight can be a health factor for some people. So we want to make sure that people have the opportunity to really get to the point where they have an option. They have something that can help them get there, because literally we see over 70% of North Americans are either overweight or obese. And when I say obese, that's clinically obese. That's not just me saying, hey, I've gained a couple of extra pounds. I'm talking about going to the doctor and being categorized as obese. Well, over the past 50 years, worldwide obesity rates have literally tripled, and it's only getting worse. In 2007 to 2008, about 33.7% of Americans were obese. In 15 to 16, 39.6% of Americans were obese. In 2007 to 2008, 5.7% of Americans were severely obese. In 2015 to 2016, 7.7% of Americans were severely obese. Now, that's a scary number. But again, the bottom line is we are trying to identify or isolate what is it that's causing either being overweight or obese. Well, we know that there are a lot of factors. One of them is sugars. Sugar consumption has gone up drastically. In the 1700s, it was about 4 pounds of sugar that we consumed annually. 1800s, it gained to about 18 pounds of sugar that we consumed annually. 1900s, 90 pounds. In 2015, it's expected that the average person consumed about 200 plus pounds annually. Now, I don't have the most recent numbers, but this goes back to 2015. So consider it's probably growing day by day. One of the issues that we're running into is more and more problems with empty calories. And so as a result, we've got more people eating a higher number of calories than ever before. In 1965, it was estimated that the average person consumed about 1,500 calories per day. Now it's estimated that the average person consumes about 3,700 calories, where the average calorie content from a fast food meal equals about 1,844 calories. So when you think about that and you put that in perspective, when we're running a nonstop life, when we're running from meeting to meeting, from work to work, from job to job, from school to school, from practice to practice, when we're doing everything we can, and we swing through that quick, easy drive-through, folks, think about what you're ordering for yourself and for those kids, because we've got to slow down on that type of consumption, because all of those calories are horribly empty. And so it's causing our body to store and do ridiculous things with the body, because it's not sure when it's going to get the next nutritional meal. And so it kind of stores it off. And then, of course, it turns into sugars and fats and all the wonderful things that we're dealing with. So as a result, about a year ago, Tom Jr. came in and he said, listen, I want to create a product that I believe will help us with this weight loss epidemic. We can do things that are very different in the world that we live in, and we have an opportunity to help people with support of energy and stamina from within, focus and mental clarity, healthy metabolism, even creating thermogenesis in the body with the ingredients that we have. And all of these are supporting appetite suppression. And so with that, we created SiselTHIN. Folks, we had an incredible event. We had an opportunity to go over great products and great descriptions and great definitions and really get a deep dive on a lot of information from some of our greatest trainers and leaders out in the field. These folks put on a show. I was absolutely mesmerized. And as I learned, took notes and listened to those things that were said, it was such an amazing opportunity for me to hear it, because I came back and I told everybody I am more energized than I've ever been. And I know that there were others there with me. So I want to bring on a couple of individuals that I think will give us a lot of insight, a lot of information, and really help us with that detail of the things that we've been working on and how we can help people achieve great things in life. And that's really what I came away from this past weekend with. And I know that Eli and Lizzie Miller, you guys were there all the way from Ohio, but you guys came in because you wanted to share in that event. You wanted to talk about the things that were specific to you and your people, your team, your organization. You guys are such great leaders. And I thought if it would be possible, either Eli or Lizzie or both of you, if you want to pop in and just tell us a little bit about this past weekend, as well as some of these products and how they're helping you and yourselves as well as others on their weight loss journey, as well as getting back into shape and fitness and taking back charge of their life. So Eli and Lizzie Miller, welcome to the call.
Oh, my goodness, Aaron. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect.
This last weekend was absolutely amazing. Being at the convention, lots of positive input. We took away a lot more home than we brought in. And as far as the weight loss, my story on the weight loss, I started doing keto, and in the first week I lost 9 pounds and 6 inches, which was totally amazing to me. And kind of plateaued right there, and then did some detoxing. And this morning I noticed I've lost a few more pounds, so that's where I'm going there. And as far as the convention, there was so much positive food there, you could say. I'll just give a few quotes that I took home. Be careful what you throw in the universe. It will come back to you. So keep it positive. I thought that was a great one. If you think that it'll come back to you, so definitely you want to keep it positive. And if you don't agree with it, don't focus on it. Be the change you want to see in others. That is basically what you expect from others is what you will see. And then one more thing I think Doris Burkholder brought was, oh God, please put your arms around my shoulders and your hand over my mouth. That spoke tons to me. Just God, just please guard me and yeah, so I can be a listening ear and not speak words that basically speak words that are hurtful. Say what needs to be said and what people need to hear. So I think that's all I have. And Eli's sitting right here if you want him to.
I would love to hear from Eli. Eli, welcome.
Hey, welcome, Aaron, and thanks a lot for the energy that you brought into that event. The main thing that I got was walking in there and feeling the energy of positive and like-minded people, and it's a whole family. So one thing, or a couple things I took off was, Aaron, you brought up that sometimes I needed to make a course correction, be coachable, and brought up a quote from, I think it was Winston Churchill, that I will never reach my destination if I stop to throw stones at every dog that barks. Then another thing that one of the speakers brought up, I think that was Cheryl Reel, and it was a pretty sobering thought for me. Where would I be if we had never joined Sisel? What kind of books would I be reading? What kind of days would we be having? For me, that is very sobering. And Mary Sue Lapp brought out the effectiveness of team meets. That's something we have not done yet, but it is in our goals. And towards the end, DW was really good. He brought out the fact that we do not have time for two-toy drama, and really brought back in the trusting the process. Trusting the process really does work. For us, it's a little bit slower than some, but if you trust the process, you will still get where you want to go. Back to you, Aaron.
Well, Eli and Lizzie, thank you so much. And you're absolutely right. We had so many speakers that I was thinking about it today, or maybe even over the weekend, that we had so many people. I would bet over the course of the 2 days, we had somewhere between 20 and 30 different people that were able to get online and be a part of this conversation that we had there, whether it was through basic testimonials, whether it was through personal journeys, or even just the fact that people were able to stand up and be a part of the conversation that was created at this event. And I really take my hat off to those leaders that spent so much time, effort, and energy to put together that great event. And again, I never like to name names because it makes me scared to death that I'm going to leave somebody off. But I want each of you to know that I know who you are. And I am so grateful that I would have the opportunity to participate. So again, Eli and Lizzie, you're absolutely correct. We had so many wonderful things said. And just to take a couple of bite-sized chunks out of all of that is about as much as we can get out. I was thinking about sharing a lot yesterday as I came into the executive meeting, and I couldn't even get to it all. I thought, you know what, it'd just have to be over the course of time. I try to spill it as best I can. But folks, it was just one of those weekends. And I think about it from those people that we had that were there, and there were just so many. But Esther Stoltzfus, you had, of course, your bit of what I would consider to be kind of a funny testimonial and some of the thoughts that you had. If you wouldn't mind sharing with us some of the information and how you felt and even on the products and how you're losing some weight, gaining some muscle, all that good stuff. We would love to hear from you. Welcome to the call, Esther.
Hey, good evening. Thank you for having me on the call. I'm honored to be a part of this call. Coming away from Masters Convention, it was definitely one of the best conventions I ever attended. I had one of my team members there for the first time, and she said that there was just something about that event. I came away from there just more of a deeper belief for Sizzle, for the people who are in it corporate. And I believe that's what makes Sizzle successful. I believe that's what makes us successful, is because the Mowers, Aaron Rennert, Milo, and a couple of the others I don't personally know yet, they all care for us and they want the best for us. Something that I want to bring out is we were asked to take some games along for the Thursday evening social, and we had 2 games. And each game we played 2 times. And we usually played men against women. And for some reason, the women just kept winning. And I remember the second game that we played, it was men against women. And what touched me was how Aaron just jumped in, and he was a part of the games as well as anybody else. He wasn't one of these top people who wasn't going to step in and play the game. But what was really funny to me was after we were done, of course, the women won again. And a couple women stepped up. They want to play the game, and the men weren't really jumping to it because they were all scared they're not going to win again. And Aaron got this look in his eyes like, I'm going to step into this game, and the men are they're going to win. And you know what's funny? They did win. So that was awesome. I love the whole event. There's so many, I can't even begin to tell you which sessions spoke to me, but because there was quite a bit that I was just touched in so many different ways. There was one lady who shared her testimony on POTS, and I think she almost had every person in the room did not have a dry eye. It was a very heartfelt testimony that she gave. And then I am taking the SiselTHIN and the Sizzle Sport. I'm not classed as an overweight woman, but I started taking the SiselTHIN because of just a couple of the benefits that come with the SiselTHIN. I have a couple papers here, 12 proven health benefits for ashwagandha, which is in the SiselTHIN. And then I also have another paper that has the other ingredients that are in the SiselTHIN. And that's kind of why I started taking it, was because of the benefits that you get from the ashwagandha, including all the other added benefits. And what I like about it is I had quite a bit of stress in my life the last couple months, and it felt like when I was kind of working through something, I would reach for food, and this usually was not me. And what I find with the SiselTHIN is it makes me fuller, and instead of reaching for those empty carbs, I reach for healthy foods. And then with the Sizzle Sport, I struggle with my health. I was not the mama and wife I had wanted to be because of the health challenges I had. And since we are with Sizzle for 3.5 years, I'm a completely different person. But when Sizzle Sport came out, I'm not the type of person that is crazy about a product, but I absolutely am on fire about this product. You know how it feels if somebody sends you a bouquet of flowers? It makes your day. It cheers you up. You just have an awesomer day. And that's how the Sizzle Sport is. It clears my mind. It just makes me, if you are having one of those down days, it just picks you up. And it's not, I just have that mental clarity. It's like I put on eyeglasses and my vision is clear, crisper, and I don't know. I can't even begin to tell you the benefits of what Sizzle Sport is doing in my life. And then we have a 10-year-old son who's had some struggles in school, and he has a water bottle, 24 ounces water bottle, and I put a half a scoop in there each day before he goes to school. And it's amazing what he's coming home with. His grades are going up, his mood is better. So it's not just for adults, it's for children as well. So I think that's what I have to share this evening.
Well, that is perfect, Esther. And I'll tell you folks this. The games were not just games. These weren't just kind of play games. These were team building games. And it was an opportunity, as Esther and her husband brought them out, said, listen, we had learned these from kind of a coach that we know. I won't say who, because I don't want to give any big endorsements on the call. But the fact is that it was an opportunity for them to bring something that would allow teamwork to take place. And that was the big thing, is trying to help us figure out how to work as a team and how to work as a community and how to come together and use each other's strengths and weaknesses. And that was what was fun to me. Of course, I couldn't help but say at the very end of it, because Elsie Stoltzfus had said that men's brains were like waffles and women's brains were like spaghetti. And so I was happy that the waffle brains, took the prize just at least on one game, because I'm not kidding you guys. I think every game the men lost and the women won, except for that one game where we all got focused and worked as a team. And once we did that, lo and behold, we were able to pull it off. So it was just a lot of fun. And so Esther, thanks so much, and being a contributor, because that's really what it's all about. And a participant is the easy stuff, but the contribution piece is tough. So thank you again for your testimonial. Now I want to jump right over to somebody that has just absolutely been as solid as a rock, absolutely always there for everybody, and ensuring that people have a path and a direction that they know that they can get advice on and help from and assistance and support. And that's Katie Byler. So Katie and Jake, I know you guys just did so much. And so Katie, if you don't mind, just give us a little bit of insight into what you walked away from this past weekend with, and what you're able to then tell others about from this past weekend. Welcome to the call, Katie Byler.
Hey, Aaron, thank you so much for having me on the call. This has been a great call so far. I just love hearing the stories and recapping of some of the things that we learned. And one of the great themes that we heard about was change. And from that word change, I took this quote and this was all from the event. So we had the word change. Now, the quote that I want to add to that word is if you focus on results, you will never change. But if you focus on change, you will get results. And when we think of that quote, it also does tie in very nicely with what we're doing with the SiselTHIN and the Sizzle Sport and the whole weight loss package. So if we think of the keto lifestyle and the weight loss package, and we think of our business, and we think of change. Now, I'll read the quote again. If you focus on results, you will never change. If you focus on change, you will get results. So that's one thing that I took away from the event. And another thing that I took away from the event was crossing over. So if we can focus on change, and what we learned about crossing over is that we want to step out and we want to cross over into the future. We don't want to stay stuck in the way, maybe there's times where we feel like, well, there's just been, everybody's been saying no. I just don't know which way to turn. Let's focus on change. Let's cross over and reach out for those results. I walked away from this event. Me personally, have walked away from this event, I'm going to say probably more inspired, more recharged, and I just felt like I'm prepared for success. And I want to ask the question, I guess, how many of us are prepared for success? Because when opportunity meets preparation, that definition, it'll equal success. So I've walked away from that event and I've made a goal. And this is all, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to you, Aaron, and to all the speakers, to everyone that was at this event to make it possible for me to start to think into that change, because I felt like I walked away and I felt like this event was put on so that I can change. So I want to say thank you to everyone that contributed to this event, because that is what I walked away. I was recharged, and I just don't want people to miss the next one. So my goal that I've set, and I encourage everyone to start today and work toward that next event, because we could take the rest of the night and share what we learned at this event. But there's one thing we can't share. We can't share that on a phone call. We can't share the experience. And I don't want anyone that I'm talking to Sizzle. I don't want anyone that I'm working with in Sizzle to miss that experience in September. So my goal is whoever I talk to about Sizzle from now till then, I've added another question, because when we ask questions, that's how we learn. I've added another question. If I'm working with someone with Sizzle in the next 6 months, I've added a question that I want to ask them. That question is, do you have your Masters Convention tickets? Because that's where Sizzle is going to, it just drops right smack dab into the center of your heart, and you can't help but share. So anyway, I'm getting a little long-winded here, Aaron, but can you tell I'm just a bit excited now, a little bit on the SiselTHIN and the Sizzle Sport and how that's been working for our family. Our family's kind of decided to take on this keto journey, and I'm down 16 pounds now. Absolutely love the keto lifestyle and love the SiselTHIN and the Sizzle Sport, and even just that whole package that Sizzle has put together for us. Absolutely love it. And on another note on that, my son decided to take on keto, and he added the Sizzle Sport to his workout. And since he has done that, has now gained 15 pounds of muscle. So we are super excited here at the Byler household.
Unbelievable. That is so absolutely cool. And I'll tell you what, it's fun to hear about it when you're seeing people have success. But I'll tell you this, when people are able to talk about it and hear it and then experience it, there's nothing like it. So I completely agree, because what you just said, Katie, is that for those people that missed out on the opportunity this time, don't miss the next one, folks. This was a bombshell event where everybody that walked away from it, in my opinion, I haven't talked to everybody, but so far the feedback that I've received is that everybody walked away and said, I cannot believe what I just heard and learned this weekend, and how I can take it back and implement it in my business and in my life. It's not just about business, folks. There's a lifestyle that goes along with this. And it was so much fun to watch the people, from the laughing to the tears to the deep, solemn thoughts. And again, we just had so many opportunities to come together and to be a part as one, be a group, a system, a process, a theme. Everything was just working absolutely magically. So it was a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, I won't forget this event ever. It was one of those monumental events that gave me all of the energy and the encouragement that I needed to go out and do my job every single day. I know that the person that I'm going to bring on next, and Katie, again, thank you for your words. The person that I'm going to bring on next is a guy that literally says, look, if I'm going to walk the walk and I'm going to talk the talk, then I better be a product of the product. And so he started his weight loss journey a couple of months ago. But the bottom line is that he hasn't stopped it. So it wasn't about just weight loss. It was also about fitness. And he said, I'm going to go out again. I'm going to be the example to everybody. And I'm going to do the things that I've asked everybody to do. And I've mentioned that I'm going to do it, and all those good things that go along with somebody actually setting that example. And Milo Acosta, our director of North American sales, we've always said, hey, we can't stand up on stage and talk about these incredible products if we're not actually taking those incredible products. It's a little bit like a lie. So one of the things that Milo has always done, and I've always done, is I've made sure that as I'm talking about the products, I'm talking about them in actuality by giving everybody a firsthand personal testimonial of it. So you're going to hear it tonight from Milo Acosta. So Milo, take it away.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Yeah, and thank you so much for just the example. When I started here 4 years ago, and I started learning about the products, the first thing that I noticed was Aaron every morning just getting some of it. And I can still see him when we're in meetings and stuff. He just reaches to his desk and starts getting different bottles and gets a big handful of our products and just down 10 to 12 at a time. So it's like he's saying, product of the product is to be a product of the product, guys. To be successful, you guys need to have a testimony of the products. Whatever you feel passionate about. And I feel really passionate about this. I've always loved to exercise, to play basketball, to stay pretty fit. But, this year, last year was a big challenge for me because I couldn't do much. So once again, we talked about systems, and we talked about keeping it simple. We talked about, being consistent on what we're doing. And I decided, I'm going to change. But right before the holidays, I know it was a hard time because, mom comes back from Mexico and she still does, my favorite food and everything. So I still decided to do a change because I wanted to go out in the field and talk about, how our products have changed my life personally. And I hear you guys talking about, the masters and I'm just getting anxious because I love that feeling. I love to be out there with you guys and being a part of you and listening to the testimonials and just feeling that your passion when you talk about the product. So I feel that passion right now with all our products, especially right now with our weight loss products and I hear the passion with Eli and Lee and Lizzie and Esther and Katie, on the products and the events and the testimonials and just the way that they want to go out there and just eat the world up and share this with everybody that they can meet. So that's one of the ways and things that I'm doing with my own personal story right now that I'm building up. And like you guys, if you guys see me on Facebook, I just posted something on our North America page, a video that Thomas and I made. Thomas and I, when we travel, we will like to have fun. We kid around with each other, and we decided to do a video of us working out. What we do every night around 9 o'clock, we go to the gym and we kind of goof around, but we put our work in. And something that I wrote on one of the books that I'm reading, and I put that in the beginning of that video where I shared it on my personal page. It says, for things to change, you need to change. For things to get better, you need to get better. I'm going to do today what others don't in order to see tomorrow what others won't. It takes effort, guys, because it's not easy. You'll see the video. It's a funny video, but you'll see how sometimes when we're doing some reps, the muscles just give up. And I need to tell Thomas, help me with this, or he'll tell me, okay, help me take the weights off. We're trying. It's not easy. Change isn't easy, but it's worth it. One of my favorite movies, a cartoon of The Lion King. That they quote that. Change is good, but change is not easy, and it can hurt. But at the end of the day, it's all worth it. So that quote that I put there just really hit me when we were talking about change earlier. With you guys talking about it, I went back to my Facebook post and it makes sense. If you want things to change in your business or in your body, you need to make sure that you're ready to change. You have to change mentally first in order for anything to happen. If you're not convinced that you want to make a change in your life, if you're not convinced, that's never going to happen, because in 2, 3, 4 days or a week or two, you're going to give up, because it's not easy at all. Going there and like today we went with Crystal and she's like, it's leg day, and I'm like, I don't like leg days because it just tortures me. And yeah, I was there for 45 minutes and I could hardly, walk to my car, and I had to sit for literally for 5 minutes until I was comfortable enough to hit the brakes at least, but that it is what it is. It's hard mentally. When I was driving there, I was driving like 10 miles an hour because I didn't want to, get there, because I knew what it was waiting for me. But at the end, of the session, I felt great. And I felt like, it was another thing that I went through, and that's going to help me in the long run. And you can still see, you see results when you get on this challenge, and you start seeing the weight loss, and you start seeing definition, and at the end of the day, mentally, you're ready to change, and things get better. But first, you need to change upstairs in your brain, and then in order for to see tomorrow what others can't and won't. But I love this product. I'm very, very passionate on what we have right now, on the attitude that everybody has in the field, internally in corporate as well. Can't wait to travel. I was talking to Thomas today, and he's like, let's just see if we can set something up for late May or beginning of June, we can't wait to be out with you guys and have fun and build and train on the product and maybe do some of our workouts sometimes with everybody on one of the events or something. Make something fun and make sure that we get to know you guys. So guys, thank you so much for being part of our call today. I'm going to go ahead and announce the winners for tonight's call, and make sure that you guys go every week to share our testimonials in here on Facebook or calling and leave your recorded testimonials. But for this week, Rose Yoder won SiselTHIN. Jonathan and Nancy Mullet won another SiselTHIN. Joyce Welch won a Sizzle Sport, and Donna Woolworth won a Sizzle Sport. So we're going to be shipping those products for you guys tomorrow. So thank you so much for sharing everything with us, guys. Make sure that if you're a guest on this call, please ask questions. Ask the people that invited to this call. Ask them what's SiselTHIN, what's Sizzle Sport, what is Sizzle. How can you be part of this great family, guys? We're all excited. We have the best products out there in the industry, bar none. I'm powered by Sizzle 100%. You guys are powered by Sizzle by the testimonies that you have. Make sure that you share that with everyone and help everybody change their life and their family's life. For now, guys, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, 7 o'clock, same phone number, same access code. So for now, have a great evening, guys.